So, mga kotsero, kanina, while I was doing groceries, eh, may nakita akong message sa'kin. Eto na nga yun, nilagyan ko ng puncher hole para genuine. Oo. I intentionally did not, use the PDF copy kasi, yung details na included dito are very, let's just say it's short of confidential. Oo. Kasi may mga names, may mga persons, may mga dates, amounts na nandito na would be very mas gusto kong mas gusto kong ang bumasag at mag-present, kung sino man yung dapat bumasag at mag-present. Ngayon mga kotsero, ikukuwento ko sa inyo yung nabasa kong yung nakuha kong Of course, medyo may mga parte dito na redacted. I will not mention. But this is about VP Sara. At merong nagpadala sa ng isang report tungkol sa mga bagay na hindi niya nagawa sa DepEd. Gano'n na lang, gano'n na lang. So, I'll read parts of this. And hinanap ko rin siya online kung totoo yung mga binalita, yung mga isinulat niya dito. Hindi ko sasabihin kung sino. Kung kayo po ay nasa US, UK, Canada, Italy, France, Spain, Ireland, and Belgium, ay pwede na po kayo magpadala ng inyong mga remittances sa Pilipinas gamit po ang Sendwave. Ang gagawin niyo lang ay download ng app, kuha kayo ng account, at lagay niyo ba ang account details niyo at pwede na magpadala sa GCash, Cash Pickup at iba't ibang mga bangko sa bansa. At kapag ginamit niyo pa ang promo code na Coach Jarrett on Jarn, ay makakuha pa kayo ng karagdagan $20 free credit. Kaya gamitin na si Sendwave for all of your remittance needs. Tawag dito, verify ko kung totoo yung mga sinulat niya dito at hinanap ko sa news kung meron talagang ganong klaseng balita. So, apparently, it seems mukhang legit. Mukhang legit yung report. And kung makakarating to sa kinauukulan, kung sino man yung kinauukulan, this can be quite convincing. Medyo convincing to mga kotsero na parang mapapaisip din yung kinauukulan na, mukhang dapat na yata nating sisantihin si Sara. Shall we begin? Okay. Ito yung una. Actually, parang siya hindi naman siya naka-bullet points. So, para siyang paragraph, kinukwento niya, pero naka-theme. So, halimbawa, item number 1, tapos maraming mga nakasulat na instances. Item number 2, may mga nakasulat na instances. Ganun siya. So, start tayo dun sa pinakauna. Dear Coach Jarrett. Wala akong background music ng MMK. Anyway, game. Basahin na natin tong liham na ipinadala sa atin. A report for whoever is concerned. Oo. Hindi ganun yung nakasulat pero alam niyo na kung sino yung pinatutungkulan natin. Ito daw yung mga ganap ng palya ni VP Sara. Una, Transpac third-party logistics mess. Palya daw si Sara dito, sabi. The Department of Education has entered into a contract with third-party logistics for delivery of instructional equipment and supplies such as laptops, TV sets, textbooks, science and math equipment, TVL tools and equipment, and school furniture supplies to all public schools nationwide. The contract was perfected. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng agreement. Yun yung perfected contract. During the time of DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones in 2020. However, the facilitation the facilitation and implementation of the contract has overlapped with the administration of VP and Secretary Sara Duterte, and 3 billion pesos worth of instructional equipment and supplies were stored in 15 regional warehouses of Transpac. So, ibig sabihin, mga kotsero, nung panahon ni Briones, bumili sila ng mga teaching equipment, instructional equipment, etc. etc. Tapos, as of December 2023, majority, December 2023 ha. So 2022, lumipas ang 6 months ng 2022, lumipas ang isang taon ng 2023. As of in December, a majority of the schools furniture, materials, science and math equipment, and TechVoc equipment and materials, DepEd computerization packages and textbooks are still in the aforesaid warehouses. Uy, hindi pa dinedeliver yung mga materyales. Hindi lang sa Transpac, meron pang iba. Sa iba't ibang warehouses sa Metro Manila. Nika Trading, Top Asia Furniture Producers Cooperative, Handicap Persons Producers Cooperative, Huawei Development Corporation, and Basewood Products. So nasa warehouse pa nila hanggang ngayon. Yung majority ng mga learning materials. December 2023, hindi pa nga sila nakakapag-deliver. Ayan o, DepEd mismo nagsabi. Hauling of learning resources from Transpac resumes. So, ibig sabihin, December 15, 2023 pa lang sila nag-umpisang mag-deliver. Although, sigurado ko yung mga Duterte Balahura supporters, meron silang isasagot dito. Sasabihin nila, si Transpac ang may kasalanan. Kasi hindi sila nag-deliver, etc. etc. Ganon. Ang sinasabi naman ni Transpac, bayaran nyo muna kami bago kami mag-deliver. Ganon yung usapan eh. Ganon yung usapan. Bayaran nyo muna kami bago kayo mag-deliver. So, doon ang gagaling yung issue. So, ang naging solusyon ni DepEd ay sila na lang ang pumikap. Sila na lang ang kumuha at sila na lang ang magdadala sa mga paaralan. The DepEd said its regional and division offices have immediately started hauling the goods after receiving a letter from Transpac informing the agency that it may now haul the goods stored in its warehouses in the first week of December 2023. So imagine, mga kotsero, simula nang umupo si Sara Duterte 2022 at simula nung siya ay ma-appoint na DepEd Secretary 2022, may 6 months kang school year na tumakbo. Tapos meron kang isang buong school year din na tumakbo. Tumakbo yung isang taon at kalahati, doon lang nila na-resolve. Ang sinasabi ng DepEd, dapat ang nasa contract daw kasi hindi naman natin nakita yung contract eh. Ang nasa contract daw ay delivery. Sila ang magde-deliver, si Transpac. Pero sinasabi ni Transpac, bayaran nyo muna kami bago namin i-deliver. Siyempre naman, sino ba namang... Baka iba yung contract na nakita ni Transpac, we don't know. Pero ang naging resolution ay si DepEd na lang ang pipick up. So, pinick up ni DepEd December 2023. Take note, mga kotsero, 2020 pa yung order na yan. 2020 pa yan. So, lumipas ang 2021, kay Leonor Briones, wala nangyari. Lumipas ang 2022, halo si Leonor Briones at si Sara, wala nangyari. Lumipas ang 2023, wala pa rin nangyari until December 2023. And take note, sabi ng liham na ipinadala sa atin, majority, as of December 2023, majority of the school furniture, materials, science and math equipment, TechVoc equipment and materials, DepEd computerization packages, textbooks are still in the aforesaid warehouses. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa nakukuha lahat ng mga materyales. 2024 na. Natapos na ang school year 2023-2024. Mag-uumpisa na ang 2024-2025. Hindi pa rin nakukuha. Bakit ganun? Bakit hindi nakuha yung learning materials? Sabi ni Carding de la Cruz, Coach, best performing official daw siya niya. Kasi hindi alam ng mga tao yung mga ginagawa niya. Ang alam lang ng tao yung mga propaganda na sinasabi ng mga Duterte Duterte vloggers. Yun lang naman alam nila eh. Alam ba nila kung anong trabaho ni Sarah? I mean seriously, kung tatanungin niyo yung mga nasa survey na yan, pag tinanong niyo sila, alam niyo po ba ang trabaho ni Sara Duterte? Ano sasabihin nila? DepEd Secretary. At tapos, ano na? Hindi nila alam. Pangalawang, ito pala, meron pa palang may something pa bago niya i-close yung kanyang sumbong. There is no end in sight when these materials can be delivered to schools. So, ibig sabihin, hindi alam ng DepEd kung kailan madi-deliver itong mga materyales ito. Kung kailan matatapos pala yung delivery. Nagde-delivery na, pero hindi alam kung kailan. What? Kayo na nga ang pumipick up eh. Hindi nyo pa alam kung kailan matatapos. Yun. Sana masagot to ng DepEd, no? Kasi kailangan ng mga bata itong materials eh. Kailangan itong materials eh. Next. Go students, undocumented beneficiaries of government assistance to students and teachers in private schools or GASPIP program. Yun. Go students, guys. Reports from COA reveal that there are about 19,000 Go students or undocumented beneficiaries of the government subsidy program, which defrauded the government of about 7 billion pesos. Oh my God, 7 billion, guys. Antindi mo, boy. Grabe. This amount could have been used to address the many shortcomings and deficiencies of public schools in the country. It also deprived 19,000 legitimate and deserving public school students of the chance to get a better education in private schools of their choice. Totoo yan, mga kotsero. Kasi mga kotsero, sinabi na natin yan eh, nung una natin pinasabog to, itong sa Go students. Actually, nung una pang nung una kong tinapik tong Go students, daming nagalit sa akin DDS. Ang daming nagalit sa akin. Pero alam nyo, mga kotsero, wala naman akong pake. Pero alam nyo, mga kotsero, talo kasi talaga yung mga deserving. Talo yung mga deserving. 19,000 yun. Hindi nakapasok sa scholarship kahit deserving sila. 19,000 students. Dahil dito sa mga Go students. Imagine niyo kung anak niyo yun. Mahusay yung anak nyo. Pero hindi nakapasok dahil merong Go student ang DepEd doon sa lugar na yun. Or sa paaralan na yun. DepEd under VP and Secretary Sara Duterte has not addressed the problem head-on. Until today, DepEd lacks guidelines on who should qualify for senior high school voucher program. As a result, 64% of SHSVP came from non-poor families which received aid amounting to 7.3 billion pesos. I mean, alam nyo, nung nag-grad school ako sa UST, may scholarship din naman sa UST. Pero mahigpit yung proseso ng scholarship. Kapag ikaw, para mag-qualify ka dyan, hindi yan one time, big time. Every year, kina-qualify ka sa scholarship. At hindi lang sa grades. Meron din kasi silang special scholarship for indigents. So, ibig sabihin, every time mag-e-enroll ka, magsasubmit yung parents mo. If I remember it correctly, magsasubmit yung parents mo ng ITR. Every year. Tapos kung hindi ka napapasok dun sa sa bracket ng sahod na pasok sa indigent, tatanggalin ka sa scholarship. But hindi ko lang alam kung if it's still the same today. Pero from when I was still a grad school student doon, gano'n na yung sistema. Ang problema diyan mga kotsero, until today, wala pa ring guidelines. Walang guidelines ang DepEd. Kasi from what I understand, yung scholarship na 'to, ibang grupo ang humahawak. Wait, ibang ano 'yan, eh, Private Education Assistance Committee. Siya yung humahawak niyan. So, hindi siya kay DepEd. 'Yun ang problema. So, lumabas na yung issue, lumabas na yung problema, si DepEd, si secretary ng DepEd hindi pa rin gumagalaw. Ang nakakatawa dito mga kotsero, yung batas dito is only an executive order, EO number 156, series of 1968. Ang tagal na nito. Wala bang nanggaling kahit suggestion man lang kay VP Sara, sabihin niya kay Presidente, "Sir, Mr. President, baka naman pwede nating i-update yung ating GASTPE, yung executive order natin tungkol sa Fund for Assistance to Private Education." Wala po bang update dyan, sir? Baka ho pwede ho nating pagandahin, oo. Dahil walang guidelines galing DepEd, nagbabayad daw ang ating DepEd ng scholarship sa 64% na hindi qualified for scholarship. Hindi qualified sa scholarship, pero binabayaran yung scholarship. Hanggang ngayon. Kailan pa yan? Kailan pa pumutok yan? Tagal na yan, Parang March pa yata yan. 7 billion ang ginagastos dyan, mga kotsero, per year. Napupunta sa mga hindi deserving. The government could have salvaged this huge amount of funds had DepEd formulated a policy to cure the defects in the policy and monitor the implementation of the program. So wala si secretary, no? Natutulog sa pansitan, no? Ay, ito matindi, number 3. Failure to deliver instructional equipment and materials, DepEd computerization packages and textbooks. Uy, interesting. May mga hindi ako babasahin na parte, lalo na may mga pangalan. Ito na lang, ito parte lang na to. Procurement for textbooks, computer packages for schools, TVLs, tools and equipment, sets of school furniture, and science and math equipment under the GAA fiscal year 2022 has been delayed only to be procured in the closing of fiscal year 2023. Ay, bakit ganun? Wait, nasa na pala yung balita nung kanina? Ito yata yun. Incomplete. No textbooks for many Pinoy pupils for a decade, sabi ng EDCOM 2 executive. Ito pa nakakatawa dito, by the way. For the entire decade that has passed, many of our learners have been going to school but not having textbooks. From 2018 to 2022, only 1 billion of the government's 12 billion allotment for textbooks was used. Oh my God! Mga kotsero, 12 billion pesos ang budget para sa libro ng mga bata. 12 billion pesos. 1 billion lang ang ginamit. Pero to iba. But this one is related. Ito naman, may naka-allot na budget. So may line item budget sa General Appropriations Act 2022 pero hindi binili. Hindi nila binili for 2022. Binili nila 2023 na. So, itong mga gamit na to, libro, furniture, textbooks, computer, etc., etc. Itong mga gamit na to, hindi ma-deliver ng 2024. Production for these items are still ongoing since this is a bulk production, the delivery of which might be in 2025. 2025 pa magagamit. Umorder ka 2022. Makukuha niyo yung materyales 2025. Sana sagutin to ni VP. Kasi in-order daw nila 2023 lang. So, syempre, dahil bulk order nga naman, so, bulk production. So, i-deliver daw yan, most probably, 2025. VP and DepEd Secretary unveiled and introduced the revitalized K-10 curriculum and termed it as the Matatag curriculum, etc., etc. Na-pilot na raw sa 35 schools, etc. But again, how will the Matatag curriculum work effectively if there will be no textbooks, curriculum guides, and learning exemplars? O nga naman, paano uubra yung curriculum mo? Wala kang libro. Diba? Simple lang naman yung tanong eh. Paano tatakbo yung Matatag program mo kung wala kang libro? The education sector has been receiving its budget from the national government for textbooks but has been struggling to fully utilize its funds. Nahihirapan kayong bumili ng libro? May pera pero walang mabili? Is that the case? Ito, may sagot si Michael Powa, USEC ng DepEd. So what are we doing right now? Question mark. Kung sino yung magde-develop ng manuscript, sino magde-develop ng content, siya rin na magpiprint at magde-deliver. Okay. Okay. Parang hindi niya sinagot yung tanong. Parang hindi siya nasagot yung tanong doon. EDCOM's analysis of the data submitted by the Bureau of Learning Resources show that for kinder to grade 10, only 27 textbooks have been procured since 2012. Only grade 5 and grade 6 textbooks have been successfully procured. O syempre, nandiyan yung universal excuse na pandemic. Okay. Sige na lang. Malas ni Sarah, malas ni VP kasi wala siyang ganong klaseng excuse. Wala nang pandemic eh. So, if she fails, it really boils down to the person. Next. Ay, ito matindi. Matindi ito wala to sa balita kasi tungkol to sa management style. Absence or lack of strategic leadership at the Department of Education. Oy, matindi to. Mukhang tagaloob ng DepEd ang nagsulat nito. Talks are circulating in executive offices that the VP and DepEd Secretary Sara Duterte does not even attend meetings, cancels appointments, and speaking engagements arbitrarily, and does not conduct consultations with her education officials. So, paano nyo po nagagawa yung trabaho nyo, ma'am? Hindi ka uma-attend ng meeting, nagka-cancel ng mga appointment at speaking engagements. Hindi na kumukonsulta sa kanyang mga education officials. Since July 2023, she failed to convene her executive committee to discuss policy matters on learning recovery and modalities, budget utilization, flaws on the voucher system program, and among others. As of today, her chief of staff, damay pa si Yusek Powa, and Undersecretary Powa acts as the de facto Secretary of Education. What? Eh di si Michael Powa na lang gawing sekretary ng DepEd. Alam nyo mga kutsero, kung totoo to, ang sama. Kaya pala ang dami mong time pumunta sa burol. Kaya pala ang daming time pumunta sa burol ni Sarah, no? So si Yusek Powa, according to the letter ha, by the way, hindi ako sumulat nito, sinend lang sa akin to. According to the letter, si Yusek Powa daw ang tumatayong de facto to secretary. So siya ang nagpapatakbo ng lahat, si Yusek Powa. Alam niyo, which it's kinda true. It's somewhat true. Parang napapansin ko rin 'yan. Tingnan niyo 'pag merong mga interview, sinong humaharap? Si Powa. Tapos siya yung sumasagot sa lahat ng mga ano, 'pag may mga si Sarah usually pumupunta lang siya sa mga speaking engagements na ewan, gano'n lang. Wag naman sana totoo 'to. Sana hindi totoo. Eto pa, this utter lack of leadership and grasp in the management of the agency can be seen or noticed in the previous 2 years of budget hearings. When asked by legislators regards to fiscal performance and program outcomes, the VP and Secretary Duterte simply points to her undersecretaries for a response. She acts merely as a facilitator or a moderator during budget deliberations. Ay, totoo yan. Totoo yan. Naalala nyo nitong mga budget deliberation? Lalo nung pumutok yung confidential fund. Sinong sumasagot? Si Yusek of this, si Yusek of that, si Asek of this, si Asek of that. Wala siyang sinasagot na siya mismo ang nakakaalam. Lagi niyang pinapasa. I'm sure may sagot na naman dyan ang mga Duterte Balaura supporters. Sasabihin nila, syempre, do you expect VP Sara to know everything about ano? Ang alam lang yan, high-level stuff lang. Hindi niya alam yung mga detalye. Okay. So, ba't pa siya naging secretary? Being the secretary of DepEd, ang role mo dyan, para kang CEO ng kumpanya. Alam mo talaga dapat lahat. Para kang CEO ng kumpanya. Alam mo talaga dapat lahat. Hindi pwedeng hindi. Ang sagwahan nito, no? Alam nyo sana, ako, seriously, hindi, alam ko, I've been hating on VP Sara for the past few months. Pero for the sake of our students, for the sake of our children, sana hindi totoo tong lahat. Sana all of these are just allegations. Pero, again, I'm just reading from what was sent to me. Ganda ng title niya dito. Whimsical policy issuances which affect learning outcomes. Whimsical, ibig sabihin kung kailan niya trip. Trip lang. Ito may kwentong naganap dito. In one of the unannounced school visits of VP and Education Secretary Sara Duterte, she noticed that there are visual aid materials posted in the academic walls and halls of the said school. She also saw some tarpaulins placed along the wall perimeters of the campus. With a stroke of her wand, parang fairy godmother. Oo. With a stroke of her wand, she made a policy issuance instructing the school heads and teachers to prohibit the posting of any materials on walls. Totoo to, nangyari to mga kojero. Totoo yan. Nangyari yan. Ito yung balita na yan. Totoo yan. Nangyari yan. Yan o. Naalala nyo to? Yung tatanggalin lahat ng mga poster sa loob ng classroom. Pinagtanggol ko to eh. Kasi during that time, kumbaga umaasa pa ako na magbabati pa ang Unity. So medyo pinagtanggol ko siya nung panahon na yun. Ang argumento ko noon was kasi syempre, bawas distraction. Ayaw naman natin ma-distract yung mga bata. But on the other hand, yeah, some of it can be a distraction. Pero on the other hand, some of it are learning tools. Halimbawa, picture ng letters sa pader. Kapag nasa preschool ka, tuturo mo yung individual letters. This is letter A. A for apple. B for banana. Ganon. So, it can be a learning tool. Ngayon, sa kaso kasi ni Sarah, parang hindi niya pinag-aralan. Parang, ang sinasabi ni kung sino man sumulat nito, Hindi niya pinag-aralan 'yun. Nakasiwa lang daw siya sa itsura ng mga classroom na ang dami-dami daw nakasabit. So, the following day, sinabi niya, "O, tanggal lahat, ah." Nakasulat pa dito, "Since time immemorial, these visual aids have contributed to the learning and knowledge of the students. She chose cleanliness over better learning outcomes." Yun. Parang, wag na lang maging madumi yung pader. Bahala na maging bobo yung mga bata. Parang gano'n sinasabi ko sino man sumulat nito. Meron pang isa, dalawa yung sinend niya dito na kwento. Another case in point. Sabi, "A lot were surprised when in a speaking engagement, she proudly announced that she instructed DepEd officials and implement the Catch Up Friday program." Alam niyo itong Catch Up Friday? "A program intended for reading and values, health, and peace education." Sabi niya. "The delivery of learning competencies, skills, and knowledge are programmed and spread according to the number of school days in a calendar year. So Catch Up Fridays disturb the lessons delivery program of the schools. The teachers and curriculum supervisors have to skip some learning competencies just to facilitate the instruction of this Catch Up Fridays." So ibig sabihin mga kotsero, kung kayo po ay may experience sa pagiging guro, meron po tayong tinatawag na syllabus. Every year po, ginagawa po yan ng mga guro natin. Gumagawa po sila ng syllabus. Ngayon, sa syllabus po na yan, naka-indicate, kung nakakita na po kayo ng DepEd form, naka-indicate po doon yung learning competency, ano yung topic, ano yung readings, ano yung learning outcomes, ano yung matututunan ng bata, yun yung learning outcomes. Anong learning outcomes, etc., etc. Detalyado yun. Monday to Friday yun. Monday to Friday. Detalyado lahat yun. Hindi, ano yan, hindi pwedeng pumalya yun. Ang sabi dito, ng nagsulat, dahil daw dun sa Catch Up Fridays, tinanggal nila lahat na nakaschedule ng Biyernes. Tapos, na-move lahat. Kumbaga, nagulo yung syllabus. Parang ganun. Nagulo siya. Lesson plan. Ayun, lesson plan pala, Cheche. Yan. Thank you very much. Yung lesson plan. So, ngayon, may mga competencies na hindi sila tinututukan ngayon dahil sa Catch Up Fridays. Kasi nga, yung Catch Up Fridays, kwento-kwento lang siya. Puro reading lang, kwento-kwento, etc., etc. Eh, wala naman daw ginagawa yun. Biglaan lang daw yun, sabi. Wala rong pag-aaral yun na ginawa. Hindi raw pinlano. Tapos ito pa sabi, field officials are silently protesting on the instructions of VP Sara to suspend in-person classes nationwide on account of high heat index, transportation strike, and among others. Ay, meron daw mga opisyal ng DepEd na hindi nagpapasuspindi ng klase kahit sinasabi na ng DepEd Secretary. Nationwide suspension is too much as some regions and provinces can continue in-person classes, especially when they are not affected with the transport strike. Totoo naman. Making matters worse, during suspension of in-person classes, students are found hanging out with their friends and classmates in the malls, public parks, and amusement centers. Tapos ito yung pinaka-last, number 6. Wanton display of authority and power. I'll skip some names dito kasi merong mga pangalan dito na sensitive. Pero itong sinabi, it's not a secret anymore that VP Sara has fired a number of her undersecretaries and assistant secretaries in less than a year without a clear explanation on the ground and basis of such action. Nag-mention ng mga names. Okay? Yusek blank, Yusek blank, Asek blank, Yusek blank, Asek blank, Yusek blank, and Asek blank. Dami. Maraming tinanggal. Are all learned, experienced, and competent in their own fields but unceremoniously forced to resign for reasons known only to the office of the Vice President or DepEd Secretary. Medyo nalito na siguro si writer dito kasi halo VP tsaka Secretary. These officials were asked to resign without the benefit of a 30-day notice. Ay, ganun? Immediate? Bawal sa labor code yun. The officials and personnel of DepEd are hoping and praying that yung punong abala will look for a better leader who will lead the Department of Education and usher the education sector to the path for recovery and excellence. Alam niyo sa akin yung pinakamalala, yung mga pinakamalala dito, actually lahat 'to malala. Pero para sa akin, yung mas may pinakamatitinding impact. Si number 2, si Go Students. Number 3, yung hindi nade-deliver yung mga materyales, mga libro. Number 4, absence of strategic leadership. Tapos mataas ang performance rating. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo mga kotsero, you cannot depend on surveys when it comes to performance rating. Trust rating pwede pa, pero performance rating hindi. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman natin nakikita yung trabaho ni Sarah sa loob ng kumpanya, ng DepEd. Whatever yung iniisip natin sa survey doon sa pagiging secretary ni VP Sara, hindi accurate 'yun. Kaya nga I don't care kung mataas siya sa performance rating niya, eh. Kasi hindi natin tulad niyan, may ganitong klaseng sulat. May ganitong klaseng sulat, sinasabi hindi siya effective. Pero hindi natin alam lahat 'yun. Bakit? Kasi ang nakakaalam nun yung mga members lang ng DepEd. Baka nga sinasalo pa siya ng ibang teachers. Alam niyo mga kotsero, napakababait ng teacher sa Pilipinas, sa totoo lang. Ibang level ang commitment at pagmamahal sa mga estudyante ng mga Filipino teachers. Seryoso, of course may mga every now and then meron kang mga outliers, yung mga nanggugulpe, nananampal, 'di ba? Umaabuso sa mga bata. But those are outliers. But in general, ang Filipino teachers, they're very loving pagdating sa mga estudyante. Tinatrato nilang parang sarili nilang anak, promise. Kaya nga 'pag guma-graduate minsan pati mga teacher umiiyak din, eh. Parang nakatuwang-tuwa sila na, "Uy, estudyante ko graduate na." Nakakatuwa naman, gano'n yung mga teachers, eh. Kaya siguro sila na yung nagpupuno ng kakulangan ni Sara Duterte. Sila na siguro yung pumupuno sa kakulangan niya. Kaya hindi natin masyado nakikita, kasi may sumasalo sa kanya, eh. So kung totoo 'to lahat, if this is all true, come on, you have to shape up. VP, you have to shape up kasi mga anak namin 'to, eh. Kawawa yung mga bata. Kawawa yung mga bata, eh. Ako, I can afford private school. So, hindi ko masyadong problema 'yan. Kasi 'pag sa private school, iba talaga ang tutok. Paano yung mga hindi nakaka-afford ng private school? Yung mga umaasa lang sa public. DepEd secretary dapat ang nag-aalaga diyan sa mga bata na 'yan. Kawawa naman yung mga teachers, 'di ba? Ultimately, kawawa yung mga estudyante kasi hindi sila natuturuan ng maayos. Pero kawawa din yung mga teachers kasi hindi sila na-e-empower, hindi sila nabibigyan ng kakayanan para makapagturo ng maayos. Dahil yung DepEd secretary palyado, nagmi-misfire yung Diyos ko. Lalo yung sa scholarship, kawawa yung 19,000 na hindi makakuha ng scholarship. 19,000 pa rin yun. At ginastusan sila ng 7 billion pesos. May nakalat na budget sa kanila na 7 billion pesos. Tapos ngayon hindi sila makapag-aral ng maayos kasi merong kung sino mang merong ghost nga, hindi natin alam kung totoong may tao dun. Merong umo-occupy nung slot. I mean, si Sarah, if she's not keen on resigning as DepEd secretary, magtrabaho ka na lang. Kung ayaw mo umalis bilang DepEd secretary, magtrabaho ka na lang. Mahiya ka naman kay PBBM. Or kung hindi ka mahihiya kay PBBM, mahiya ka na lang sa mga bata na nag-aaral sa mga public schools. Hindi ko alam kung masisisante si Sarah. Pero kanina kausap ko yung Dagang Costa. Aking Dagang Costa. Kausap ko yung Dagang Costa ko kanina. Tinanong ko kung possible ba yun, is it possible? Sabi, well, it's on the table pero ayaw. It's on the table meaning pinag-uusapan pero ayaw. Ayaw siyang tanggalin. So kung gano'n ang sistema, 'di ba? Kung ayaw kang tanggalin, magtrabaho ka na lang. Kahit yung bare minimum na lang, happy na kami do'n sa bare minimum. Ako na beyond the politics, beyond whatever. Ako mga kotsero, hindi na 'yun ang iniisip ko, eh. Hindi na 'yung pulitika, eh. Hindi na 'yung Sara Duterte siya kaya siya palyad. Hindi, hindi. Hindi na 'yun ang iniisip ko. Iniisip ko 'yung mga bata, kawawa 'yung mga bata. Kailangan maturuan sila ng maayos, kailangan mabigyan sila ng maayos na kinabukasan. Paano mangyayari 'yan? They have to be properly educated. Kung 'tong mga kabataan natin are properly educated, we can secure at least secure 50% of their future. Kung ayaw mo mag-resign, VP, at hindi ka rin naman tatanggalin, at kung totoo 'tong mga nakasulat dito, kung totoo 'to, galingan mo na lang sa susunod. Galingan mo na lang. Okay, so mga kotsero, maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagsuporta sa ating channel. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan mag-like, mag-share at mag-subscribe sa ating Coach Shady YouTube channel. Pa-follow tayo sa ating Facebook page para lagi updated sa mga ganap dito sa aking channel. And I'll see you in my next Coach Jared Live. God bless. See you next time, guys. Bye. Huwag ganun. Huwag natin gawing tanga mga Pilipino. Mas maganda kasi nasa lugar ka ng tama kaysa yung pinipilit mo yung pagkakamali. Are they willing to go that far? Hindi makakalimutan ng Pilipino yan hanggat di nasasagot niya. Sino ngayon nagsasabi ng totoo?